Reggae Boys fans, here we are again. It's another Thursday evening, isn't it? Where do we begin? As usual, I will be taking your comments, and after I take your comments, I will answer the questions that you have. I'll begin firstly, before I begin my preamble. I'll say that in another 25 minutes, I'll be doing an Instagram live. So you can follow me on Instagram at simon.preston. And I'll be doing an Instagram live there right after Reggae Boys commentary on YouTube this evening. Updates regarding to the over 100 players in England and the clubs that might be going, or specific information, then go at SimeyP93. And stay tuned, Reggae Boys commentary fans. We're also going to have a Patreon account. What is Patreon? Patreon gives you the absolute latest exclusive content. So you know which players are going to get their Jamaican passport, which players are in dialogue, and which players have signaled an interest to play for Jamaica. So for only $5 a month, you can get that sneak peek. How does that sound? Well, I'm sure you all are excited about that. So that is coming down the road. All right? More details to come, and I'll keep you posted where that is concerned. Okay, let's go with the preamble. And after the preamble, let us go into the comments. But firstly, just so everybody's aware, for the 10,000th time, like I've said on Twitter, my first name is Simon, and Simon is spelled Simon. Simone is Simone. So if you're going to address me by my name is Simon, Simon, not Simone. That is Simone. If you can't spell, then I suggest you go back to prep school. All right. So in 2016, Theodore Tapper Whitmore took over as head coach of the Reggae Boys from Winfred Schaefer. So we took on Guyana and Suriname in the the Caribbean Cup. And at that time, these matches were played in a FIFA window. We're now almost 4 years into Tappa's spell. 4 years. And we're 10 months away, or you could say 9 months and 3 weeks away from the World Cup qualifiers. You're telling me that when Coach had the job in 2016, he didn't say to himself, here's a piece of paper with the 10 players I want, and we're going to slowly integrate them into the squad leading into the qualifiers. So that now we shouldn't be in a situation where we are 9 months from the qualifiers and realistically speaking, only going to play 4 games before the qualifiers, before we head to the Azteca. How is that for preparation? How is that for organization? Reggae Boys fans, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. For me, the best players available and possible should be representing the country. If that means that the starting 11 has 7 English-born players, so be it. So be it. If it's 1, then also, so be it. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So, we went to the Gold Cup in 2017. Not a single UK-based player in that squad. 2019, Michael Hector. Bobby Reid has been introduced in the mix. And based on the limited action that we have seen, without a shadow of a doubt, he will be an asset for Jamaica. But we've just seen what has happened on Tuesday, haven't we? Calvin Phillips has been called up to represent England. In many ways, this is not game over. It could be a scenario where Calvin Phillips doesn't even feature in the Nations League, UEFA Nations League, which still makes him eligible for England. We'll see if he gets a cap versus Iceland or Denmark. We'll see. So, some may be asking who's next in the pecking order. Before we get into who's next in the pecking order, where holding midfield is concerned, do you now see what I've been saying for the past couple of years about preparation? You're trying to go from point A to point B, but in order to go to point B, there's things you have to accomplish. But still, we're less than a year from the World Cup qualifiers, and we're still 5 pieces away from the puzzle. That's the reality. Another 2 more minutes and I'll be taking your comments and questions. So, Mason Greenwood declared for England. We've discussed that already. Calvin Phillips has been called for England. Who should Jamaica be targeting next? Who are those individuals that perhaps we can look at? Well, before we take our eyes and binoculars and look forward, we do have Michael Hector that can play as a holding midfielder, which is outstanding. And it's an opportunity for Isaac Hayden to come into the fold. Isaac Hayden of Newcastle United didn't have the best of seasons last year with Newcastle, but what he brings to that position is certainly better than what we currently have. Can he be an asset for Jamaica? Absolutely. If you gave me a choice between Kevin Stewart and Isaac Hayden, I would say Hayden. But ideally, you would want to have both in the fold because, defensive midfielders are the most likely players to pick up yellow cards in games. And when you think about back-to-back yellow cards in a World Cup qualifying campaign, then you're suspended for the next encounter. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm for depth in that position. So that is the crucial thing. That's all the midfield. I'm sure everybody knows the good news by now. Andre Gray of Watford has commenced the process of getting a Jamaican passport. Once again, I'll say this, Reggae Boys fans. Somebody getting a passport does not mean that they're going to be called up at the next FIFA date. It could be down the road. We have Jamaicans, we have players that have Jamaican passports but never kicked a ball for us. Remember Leon Barnett? Remember Marvin Bartley? Yeah. Jay Dunkley? Never kicked a ball for Jamaica. Jermaine McGlashan? Never kicked a ball for Jamaica. But they all have Jamaican passports. Yeah. So, this should be viewed as a positive move. And we just await to see what will happen in October and November. If we're going to have a friendly or not, and where. So, We look forward to that. And we look forward to what lies ahead in this England versus Jamaica battle. Gareth Southgate, Coach Whitmore, and company. Let us see. Travis says if Jamaica maybe waited after England revealed their squad, then go after Calvin, I highly think Southgate wouldn't choose him. I guess what Travis is trying to say here is that Jamaica should have acted quicker, and that is no surprise to many. Based of what I see, Tapa don't look to the future, he just sees things on a day-to-day basis. That can be argued. If he was a reject, he wouldn't have gotten a call up. I'm not sure who you're referring to here. Yes, sir, Dayton McKenzie. Alpha HG, Wagwan for low, he got reject. No, actually, he didn't agree with personal terms with the club in Italy. However, there is significant interest with him from coast to coast in North America. So, it'll be intriguing to see if he takes up that offer. Because one of the things that I'm aware of, he started his career in North America, but straight out of university being drafted into Major League Soccer, he didn't get out opportunity to make his debut. So I'm wondering if he would want to just tick that box before commencing the next hurdle in Europe. So remember, the season is almost finished in MLS anyway. We're in October. We're in August. Season gonna finish November, December. Play 4 months of football, head to Europe, and that's that really. Simon, do you see Jamaica ever hosting a World Cup match? Not a senior World Cup, not a under-20 World Cup, maybe an under-17 World Cup, but the most likely World Cup that I think Jamaica can host is a beach football World Cup. That's the only World Cup I can see Jamaica hosting. Simon, how can a friendly even be possible at the moment with players coming from all over? Wouldn't a quarantine period be necessary? Now that is a good question, Bravo. You're right. And the reality is we're not sure what the world is going to be like in October or November, if circumstances are going to improve or if circumstances are going to decrease. But if they could make it work for the Europa League, and they make it work for the Champions League, and they're making it for the international duty in UEFA, then I'm sure it's something that can work for a friendly match, even if it means we're going to play the Cayman Islands. Yeah, come on, guys. Tell you what, if you think Jamaica is going to qualify for the 2022 World Cup, give this video a big thumbs up, alright? Give this video a like if you think we're going to qualify for the next World Cup. Oh, wow. Only a handful of you think that's going to happen? Interesting. Maybe we should try to match up with the Catalonia team again. Well, Roy Simpson has confirmed that the JFF are planning to rearrange that fixture. It just depends on when, the time period. That's what they're trying to work out. If it's going to be January next year, February, but it's certainly on the radar, for sure. Roger Grant. I did a research on Curacao. It's mostly young players in the Dutch league that can play for them. Yeah, a lot of Eredivisie players you're going to see involved for certain. Latoya believes that Tapa's going to make it to the World Cup. Okay then. Raquelme says, I thought Tapa quit and we are looking for a coach like Ericsson. No, Raquelme, that is an absolute farce. That is absolute unadulterated, disgusting lie. Why don't people check their sources? I'm not going to discuss this again. I discussed it last week. People know already. There's two papers in England that you don't read. It's the Mirror and the Sun. Okay? Not even a single quote. Roger said, I saw a clipping of McGee at UPenn. He should be giving a chance at the first team in some slow tempo games. Yeah, I think he'll get a handful of appearances. Who Jamaica looking at now being that Calvin got called up to the England team? I'll deal with that later. Would you start Johnson or Reed out wide? Johnson? Which Johnson are we talking about? Johnson. Oh, Bobby Reed for certain. We need better coaching. That's no surprise. Never Morgan that plays for St. Elizabeth Technical. He won Mining Cup in 2015. Daniel Johnson is a CM. Yes, he is. Daniel Johnson is an attacking midfielder, like a number 10. I would love to see Jamaica make it to the World Cup, but it's not going to happen under this administration. I can understand the frustration, Brandon. The frustration is shared not only amongst 3 million Jamaicans, but also in the diaspora as well. There's a lot of question marks, a whole lot of question marks about the plan moving forward, the individuals part of the pool. Still a lot of uncertainty moving forward. You know, there's many different holes that are there to be plugged. We could talk about youth development, we could talk about women's game, we could talk about grassroots, we could talk about futsal, we could talk about beach football, we could talk about FIFA grants that are provided, we could talk about the CFU, but there are many different angles that are just, yeah, gonna take a while to be fixed. Simon, I have nothing against local players, but how can Tapa and the JFF insist on using them when they haven't played football in months? Also, when the English players come in, they have no place. Well, bravo. Let's balance the situation, shall we? The match against Bermuda we had in March, it wasn't a FIFA date, so the only players we could have were locals. So everybody knows and understands that. If you're referring to the Nations League game where we had a lot of local players involved, especially the last game against Guyana at home, and a handful to some extent against Aruba and Antigua away, then I can understand your point. I think we've given the locals sufficient chance. We've given our best local players an opportunity. I think Kemar Bushy Beckford should have been given a chance from the Nations League, but it's great that he showed and strutted his stuff in that friendly. Kemal Malcolm, Kemar Beckford, Dennis Taylor. Those were the three individuals that truly stood out to me. Messi's was so-so on the night. That's Chevron Messi Marsh. But as for the locals are concerned, those are the four I would add to the pool, to be quite frank with you. Jordan Fletcher, I still think he has some work to do with his sharpness, match sharpness. I think he's still a shadow of what we saw from him in previous years. It's up to him now, because he has time on his hands to improve his craft. Do you think JFF have plans for West Morgan? No, I don't think we'll ever see West Morgan play for Jamaica ever again. So Nevada, I'm Mexican, but personally follow JFF as much as I do the Mexican national team, and personally I see Mexico losing to Jamaica when Jamaica play home. When Jamaica is at home. Yeah, I could see that happening too. I think we have the ability to beat anybody at home in the qualifiers. I can understand that at the Azteca now would be a different case. Any updates on Damian Lowe situation? Well, like I said earlier, there is significant interest in the North American market for him. What's happening with Peter Lee Vassell? Needs to find a club. Simple as that. The JFF needs to develop local talent and stop chasing English players. They won't get the top tier English players anyway, so they're always going to be stuck with Championship and League One players. I disagree to some extent. There are players that can be achieved from Premier League. There are Premier League players that Jamaicans can be able to get. You know, it's not the first time, and it won't be the last time. And we've gotten Premier League players in the past as well. So I don't think that that we should just stop. Oh, by the way, if anybody spells my name Simone, I'm not gonna read your comment, okay? Because my name is Simon. I still don't know how you guys do it. It's the 21st century, and still you don't know how to spell Simon. Because Simone is Simone. But clearly, you guys don't know your sexes. Trent says, Simon, Seattle Times reported in January that Suriname has given the dual citizenship to the foreign-based players. You know, I think it's one thing to... Yes, I remember that report as well. I wonder if it is actually in motion now, but I can definitely do some research on it. But yeah, thanks Cesar for dropping in. Is Curtis Nelson from Cardiff eligible for any CFU team? I believe he is for St. Vincent. What's happening with Leon Bailey transfer? As far as I understand, he's going to be a Bayer Leverkusen player for another season. USL or MLS info low? I think from all parts of North America. CPL, the Canadian Premier League, USL, the United Soccer League, and MLS Major League Soccer. Mexico and USA aren't better than Jamaica. What Jamaica lack is professionalism, organization, and structure. Better? What do you mean better? Better can mean a lot of things. Why is the JFF moving so slow? Your guess is as good as mine, isn't it? Any news on Damian Lowe? North America, their friendlies. What's the latest on Jamaica friendlies? There are no friendlies arranged right now, but there are plans to have friendlies. Does Kyle Walter Peters have Jamaican roots? He has a Jamaican mother. Yes. Any news on Darren Mantux? Just advanced talks with the Turkish club, but nothing confirmed just yet. Just advanced talks right now. Simon, who is the newest addition to the national team? Well, we don't have a friendly and we're not in camp, so there are no additions right now. Well, hope Bailey don't get benched. I think he'll still be rotated, but it's up for him to improve on what he did last season. Got to a German Cup final. Can he now win a trophy in Germany? Can he win the Europa League? You know, that would be great. Look him up, Never Morgan, for me, because he is a good player. Has JFF reached out to Kemar Roof? Kemar Roof was actually part of our provisional squad for the Gold Cup last year, but wasn't included in the final 23. I have a feeling it has something to do with the paperwork for Jamaica. Guys, remember, you know, it takes a while to get a Jamaican passport if you don't have all the documents together. What's your views on Michael Hector in the Premier League? I think this will be outstanding for him, exposure in the Premier League. You want to test yourself against the best. Virgil van Dijk. And moving forward, for him to come up against week after week Giroud and Rashford and Fernandes and company and Salah and Firmino and Aguero is much better than coming up against championship level players. It certainly gives him a different sort of test. What about the players in Germany? What about them? Jamie Lawrence and Ricardo Henning were not called up by Germany, which is a good sign. And Denzel Hall and Javan Anderson were not called up by the Netherlands, so that's a good sign as well. Paris made a good start in Slovenia. Yep, FC Kirko. 3 games, 2 goals. I'm really delighted that he took that loan. Even though it's for a second tier club, I'm more than happy with him getting the minutes at this moment in his career. When he's 23, 24, then we can talk about the quality of division that he's in. But for now, he's in Europe, he's playing games, he's scoring goals. Long may that continue. Would you give Josh Murphy that plays for Cardiff City a call up if he is very interested? If he has good next season, then fine. Simon, who is Lawrence Vigouroux? Lawrence Vigouroux is a goalkeeper that plays for Leyton Orient in League Two. Lawrence Vigouroux was born to a Jamaican father and a Chilean mother. He was called up for Chile's youth teams and also senior teams, but he has never made a cap for them. But Joby McAnuff has been talking to Lawrence Vigouroux time after time after time about Jamaica. Also, the young talent Shamar Nicholson. Also, your mic is muffled. I apologize for that. Shamar Nicholson, yeah. Shamar Nicholson, good start to Charlotte, isn't it? Good start. Very, very good start. Simon, we need to start scouting UK players at age 18, 19. Absolutely. Absolutely, 100%. 100%, that's how it should be. Alpha, don't diss Gareth Southgate. He's calling up players for his interest. Because he's thinking about the Euros and the World Cup, and he wants to have a lot of depth as possible. Javan can replace Alvas Powell. Javan is better defensively than Alvas, but Alvas brings that versatility moving forward. He has that energy and thrive. But defensively, Javan is like a Aaron Wan-Bissaka, clean tackling. So, the United Soccer League, right? Junior Flemings, 10 goals, 9 appearances. You know what I'm saying? And isn't it great to see that 6 Jamaicans have been included in the USL top players? Top players for the season, top 10 players for the season. Junior Flemings is one. Kennarda Forbes is another. Nico Brett is another. Devon Williams is another. Kevin Lambert is another. And Dane Kelly. 6. Long may that continue. Outstanding. It's actually great. If Maitland-Niles come, Alvas and Javan will bench. Well, as far as I'm concerned, football is played with 11 players, and I don't think we're going to play 2 right backs. If you're saying that Maitland-Niles will play as a left back, then that would mean that Taxi would go for the bench. Fitzgerald says, can we qualify for 2022? Yes, we can qualify. We have the ability to qualify. If you're asking me, if we make no additions to the squad right now, where do I think we'll finish? I say 4th. However, if we make those 5 additions like I've spoken about in previous editions of Corona Thursday, and if you listen to the 5 names, then certainly a top 3 place is possible. And even higher, even 2nd. But for right now, as we stand, with the current pool that we have, we don't get any more players with Jamaican passports. If we're going to the qualifiers tomorrow morning, 4th. 4th. All right? So, yeah. But yes, we've spoken about Maitland-Niles already about his as a utility player, left back, right back, midfield. He's an all-rounder. If you watched him play at the under-18s and under-23s at Arsenal, there was even a point in time where he even operated as a centre forward. So he's that good of a player. Simon Junior Moraes, what about him? He's Jamaican, born in Jamaica, has a Jamaican passport. If you're asking if he's ready for a call-up, no. He has to do what he has been doing currently on a more consistent basis. Is there any interest in MLS, Liga MX, or MX, or Europe for Junior Flemings? There is interest in MLS, yes. But for now, Flemings is concentrating on getting a 20 goal season before speaking about the future. Ricardo Henning, born in Jamaica, so it shouldn't be difficult to get a Jamaican passport. Lamar Walker to Belgium? Not that I'm aware of. Not that I'm aware of. That's where I'd like him to go to transition, but as far as I'm concerned, there's been no official bid for him. Yeah. Reggae Boys fans, we have 97 of you watching live. Tell your friend, tell your brother and sister so we can get to 100 for the first time in this live. 99, one more. Just tell one more of your friends, and we'll have 100 in the stream for the first time in Reggae Boys commentary. Tell somebody, go on your phone, tell your dog, tell your sister, tell your auntie, tell your uncle. We'll get to 100 persons on this stream, and then we'll go straight to Instagram live. Hey, 100! History and Reggae Boys commentary after 4 years and 5 months. And what time is it now? Reggae Boys commentary came live at 2:30, so 6 hours. We finally have over 100 people on a live stream. That's fantastic. Thank you very much, guys. Really, really appreciate it. So, guys, I'm gonna head over now to Instagram Live, Simon.Preston. Take some of your questions there. Have a bit of discussion there. And remember as well, we're going to be having a Patreon account, so prepare for that. The absolute latest when it comes to players who are getting Jamaican passports and individuals who are in negotiations with the FA. So stay tuned for that, and you can get exclusive content for only $5. Stay tuned. We're coming soon for that. Alright guys, really really appreciate you tuning out for this for Reggae Boys commentary. Regarding Damari Gray is still undecided. Alright. So really really appreciate you guys tuning in, guys. Thanks again. And once more, Alpha. My name is spelled Simon. Okay? We'll send you back to primary school. Okay? Take it easy. And Troy Deeney does not want to play for Jamaica. Okay? So we can stop talking about Troy Deeney now. Take care, guys. Later.